Hey there, you're looking kind of cute. Don't forget to subscribe and check out all my other socials. Enjoy. As he rode down in the elevator, his stomach hurt. He held the crumpled termination letter in his tight fist. He had worked at the company for 20 years, but now he was just another person let go. His whole department was shut down in one meeting because of budget cuts and the market. His footsteps echoed in the quiet, gray parking garage. The world felt strangely silent. He got into his car, feeling nothing. Starting the engine and backing out felt unreal. He drove past rows of suburban houses. When he got home, his wife's car was already in the driveway. That was odd. She usually got back from the law firm after 7. Inside, she sat at the kitchen table in her dark gray suit. She held a glass of red wine. Her face showed no emotion as he walked in and put his box of office things on the counter. "I heard about the layoffs." Her voice carried no surprise. "Henderson called me an hour ago. His wife works in your HR department." News travels fast. He loosened his tie and slumped into the chair across from her. The blonde hair he'd kept short and professional for 2 decades caught the afternoon light streaming through the window. "We need to discuss our situation." She took a measured sip. "I've been thinking about this possibility for months. Your industry has been unstable. I'll find something else. Update my resume tonight, start sending applications. That could take months, maybe longer." She set the glass down with deliberate precision. "My salary can support us, but things will need to change." He nodded, already calculating their expenses. "Cancel the gym membership, drop the premium cable channels, maybe sell the boat. Since I'm now the sole provider, I'll need you to handle the household." Her tone shifted, becoming more decisive. "All of it. Cooking, cleaning, laundry, shopping, everything I've been managing while working full-time." "Of course, that's only fair." "There's more." She stood, smoothing her skirt. "If you're going to be the homemaker, you'll dress the part. Come upstairs." Confusion creased his brow, but he followed her to their bedroom. She opened his closet and began pulling out hangers, tossing his suits and polo shirts onto the bed. "What are you doing?" "Making room." She continued emptying the closet with methodical efficiency. "I've kept all my clothes from before I lost the weight. They should fit you perfectly." "Your clothes? I don't understand." "It's simple." She carried an armload of his pants to the bed. "I'm the husband now, the breadwinner. You're the wife. Wives don't wear men's clothing." The words hung in the air. He watched her return to the closet, removing his shoes, belts, ties. Everything that marked him as professional, as masculine, landed in growing piles on the comforter. "This is insane. I'm not wearing dresses." "Then you can explain to the mortgage company why we're defaulting." She paused, fixing him with the same look she used in court. "Or to your mother why we're moving in with her." His stomach clenched. The mortgage payment was due in 2 weeks. Their savings wouldn't last 3 months, and his mother lived in a studio apartment. "This is temporary, just until I find work. We'll see." She disappeared into the walk-in closet, emerging with armfuls of fabric. Floral prints, pastels, patterns he remembered her wearing years ago. She hung each piece where his suits had been moments before. "Try this." She held out a pink sundress with small white flowers. "I can't." "You can and you will." The dress landed in his hands. "Unless you have another solution for our finances." He stared at the garment. Cotton, knee-length, with cap sleeves and a fitted bodice. His wife had worn it to summer barbecues back when they'd first married. "I'm waiting." With numb fingers, he unbuttoned his shirt. His undershirt followed, then his pants. Standing in boxers and socks, he held the dress like a foreign object. "Everything off. You'll need proper undergarments." She produced a matching set, pink satin with lace trim. These should provide the right shape. The humiliation burned as he changed. The panties felt strange against his skin, the bra hanging loose until she showed him how to adjust the straps and add padding. "Arms up!" The dress slipped over his head, fabric settling around his body. She zipped the back, then stepped away to assess. "Better than I expected. Now shoes." White sandals appeared, low heels that forced his weight forward. "And we'll need to do something about your appearance." She guided him to her vanity, pushing him onto the cushioned stool. Foundation smoothed across his skin, followed by powder, blush, eyeshadow. Each stroke of the brush transformed his reflection into something unrecognizable. Lipstick. Pink gloss coated his mouth. There, much more appropriate. The mirror showed a stranger, blonde hair framing a made-up face, pink dress clinging to padded curves. He looked like someone's housewife. Stand up, let's see you walk. The heels clicked against hardwood as he took tentative steps. She corrected his posture, showed him how to smooth the skirt when sitting, how to cross his legs at the ankle. You'll practice while cleaning. The house needs vacuuming. She checked her watch. I have a conference call in 20 minutes. Better get started. The vacuum's weight felt different in heels. He maneuvered around furniture, the dress swishing with each movement. Through the doorway, her voice carried from the home office, discussing legal briefs and billable hours. By the time he finished the living room, sweat beaded under the foundation. The straps dug into his shoulders, the shoes pinched his feet. But the carpet showed clean lines, and he found himself taking odd satisfaction in the completed task. Don't forget to dust. She passed through to refill her wine, barely glancing at him. And dinner should be ready by 6:30. The kitchen became his next challenge. He'd cooked before, but never in a dress and heels. Never with painted nails fumbling at jar lids. The refrigerator yielded chicken and vegetables, ingredients for a simple stir-fry. Oil splattered, threatening the pink fabric. He found an apron, white with yellow daisies, and tied it around his waist. The domestic image in the microwave's reflection made him pause. Blonde hair pulled back with one of her clips, lipstick faded but still visible, aproned like a 1950s homemaker. Smells good. She entered as he plated the food. But you've forgotten something. Before he could ask, she returned with a jewelry box. Pearls circled his neck, matching earrings clipped to his lobes. A thin gold bracelet completed the ensemble. Much better. A proper wife always accessorizes. Dinner passed quietly. She read emails on her phone while eating, occasionally instructing him on serving etiquette. Clear from the left, serve from the right. Keep her water glass filled. Wait to eat until after she'd started. Excellent meal. She pushed back from the table. I'll be in my study. Have everything cleaned up before you come to bed. Dishes, counters, floor, each task stretched into the evening. By the time he climbed the stairs, feet screaming from the heels, exhaustion weighed every step. She was reading in bed when he entered. His side of the closet now held only dresses and skirts. His dresser drawers revealed similar changes: panties, bras, pantyhose, slips. Your nightgown is laid out? Pink satin pooled on his pillow. And remove your makeup properly. Cold cream first, then toner. The bathroom routine took 20 minutes. He emerged to find her already asleep or pretending to be. The nightgown whispered against the sheets as he slipped into bed, careful not to disturb her. Morning arrived with her alarm. She showered while he lay still, processing the previous day. This was temporary, a few weeks at most. He'd send resumes today, network with former colleagues. Up and dressed? She emerged in a towel. Coffee should be ready when I come down. An Eggs Benedict would be nice. The closet offered limited choices. A blue skirt with white blouse seemed professional enough for job hunting. But first, breakfast. He descended barefoot, saving the heels until necessary. Coffee percolated while he poached eggs. The hollandaise required 3 attempts before achieving the right consistency. She appeared as he plated the final portion, fully dressed in one of his old suits, tailored to her frame. Perfect timing. She sat expectantly. He served, then returned to pour coffee. Black for her, cream and sugar for himself. The morning paper rested by her plate. When had she trained him to set that out? What are your plans today? She cut into the eggs. Updating my resume, calling recruiters, after the housework. Her tone brooked no argument. Bathrooms need deep cleaning, and the sheets should be washed. But resume work can wait until evening. The house comes first now. Protests died unspoken. She finished breakfast and left for work, heels clicking across the garage floor. The dishes waited in the sink, hollandaise already congealing. He cleaned mechanically, each room demanding attention. Toilets, tubs, mirrors, all scrubbed while wearing the blue skirt and low heels she'd selected. By noon, his lower back ached and his knees protested from kneeling on bathroom tiles. Lunch was a rushed sandwich eaten standing at the counter. Laundry beckoned, loads of sheets and towels. The washing machine hummed while he tackled the kitchen floor on hands and knees, skirt hiked up to avoid the soapy water. The doorbell interrupted. Through the peephole, their neighbor waited with a package. He hesitated, acutely aware of his appearance. "Just a moment?" But changing wasn't an option. His male clothes were gone. He smoothed the skirt, checked his lipstick in the hall mirror, and opened the door. "Oh!" The neighbor blinked. "I didn't realize. Is Riot home?" Heat flooded his cheeks. The voice that emerged was his own, but softer. "He's not available. I'm Sophie." "I'll take that." "Sophie?" Confusion flickered across the man's face. "I could have sworn—" "Never mind. Here you go." The package changed hands quickly. He retreated inside, heart pounding. Sophie. Where had that name come from? But it felt right somehow, matching the reflection he'd seen. Afternoon dissolved into dinner preparations. She'd texted requesting lasagna, a 2-hour process. He layered noodles and sauce while wearing the floral apron, hair pinned back to avoid the food. "Something smells delicious." She entered through the garage, loosening her tie. "How was your day?" "Productive." The word felt hollow. "Everything's clean." "And your job search?" "Tomorrow." The housework took longer than expected. It always does. She poured wine for herself, water for him. "You'll get more efficient with practice." Dinner conversations centered on her work. A big case, demanding clients. Partnership track possibilities. He served and cleared while she talked, the routine already becoming automatic. "Run me a bath," she headed upstairs, "and lay out my pajamas." The tub filled with bubbles while he selected her sleepwear. She soaked while he finished the kitchen, then prepared for bed himself. The pink nightgown awaited, along with a note. "Wear the lace one tomorrow, and curl your hair." Sleep came slowly. The satin twisted around his legs, the pearl earrings pressed into the pillow. Tomorrow he'd job hunt. Tomorrow things would change. But morning brought only more instructions. A yellow sundress with white flowers, matching sandals with 2-inch heels, full makeup, hair curled with her iron. The reflection showed someone's young wife, pretty and domestic. Breakfast, cleaning, laundry. The pattern established itself. She left lists of tasks, each item requiring completion before she returned. Windows washed in heels, floors mopped in dresses, dinners growing more elaborate as she discovered his culinary aptitude. "You're a natural homemaker," she observed one evening, watching him serve beef Wellington in a green cocktail dress. "Much better than I ever was." The compliment stirred conflicting emotions, pride in his cooking, shame at the circumstances, but mostly a strange acceptance creeping through the humiliation. Days blurred together. Monday's pink skirt suit for grocery shopping, Tuesday's floral wrap dress for deep cleaning, Wednesday's blue sundress for gardening, each outfit carefully selected by her, each task completed in full feminine presentation. "The Hendersons are coming for dinner Saturday," she announced Thursday morning. "You'll need to prepare something special." Panic flared. "They can't see me like this." "Like what?" Her eyes narrowed. "Like my wife? That's what you are now." "But they know me, know us. They'll adapt." She sipped her coffee calmly. "Wear the burgundy dress. It's the most flattering." Saturday arrived too quickly. He spent hours on the meal. Coco vin with roasted vegetables, fresh bread, chocolate soufflé for dessert. The burgundy dress hugged curves created by padding and proper undergarments. His blonde hair fell in waves past his shoulders, grown out over the weeks of isolation. "You look lovely." She adjusted his pearl necklace. "Remember, you're Sophie now, my beautiful wife." The doorbell chimed. His hands trembled as she went to answer, voices carrying from the entrance. Deep breath. Smooth the skirt. Check the lipstick one final time. "Sophie?" Mrs. Henderson entered the kitchen. "Don't you look wonderful? That color is perfect on you." The woman's easy acceptance stunned him. She chatted about recipes while he finished the sauce, as if nothing was unusual about the situation. Her husband appeared equally unfazed, complimenting the house's cleanliness and the delicious aromas. Dinner passed in surreal normalcy. He served each course in heels, refilled wine glasses, cleared plates efficiently. The Hendersons included him in conversation, asking about housekeeping tips and recipe secrets. His wife presided at the head of the table, playing the successful breadwinner perfectly. "You're so lucky," Mrs. Henderson told her. "Sophie's an absolute treasure. I wish my husband would take such good care of our home." "I am lucky." She reached over to squeeze his hand. "Sophie's made our life so much better." After they left, she pulled him close in the kitchen. "You were perfect tonight, an ideal hostess." They acted like it was normal. "Because it is normal. You're Sophie now, my wife. The sooner you accept that, the happier you'll be." That night, she was tender in bed, kissing his neck, running fingers through his long blonde hair, whispering how beautiful he looked, how proud she was of his transformation. He responded despite himself, body betraying the protests his mind still harbored. Weeks became months. The job search never materialized, too many tasks filling each day. His old colleagues stopped calling after he'd declined several invitations, unable to explain his situation. Family gatherings required careful navigation, his mother eventually accepting Sophie with resigned confusion. "Your hair's getting so long," she observed one morning, running fingers through the blonde strands that now reached mid-back. "We should style it properly." The salon appointment was scheduled without consultation. He sat caped in pink while the stylist worked, adding layers and highlights to complement his face shape. The result was unmistakably feminine, impossible to style any other way. "Beautiful," she admired the finished look. "Now you really look like Sophie." Shopping trips followed. She guided him through department stores, selecting dresses that flattered, shoes that matched, lingerie that fit properly without padding. His body had changed too, softer from lack of gym access, shaped by proper undergarments and feminine posture. "Hold still." She applied his lipstick one morning, having decided he needed practice with bolder colors. "Vermilion red today. It suits your complexion." The woman in the mirror bore no resemblance to his former self. Blonde hair perfectly styled, makeup expertly applied, wearing a black dress with red accessories. Sophie stared back, complete and undeniable. "Time for errands." She handed him a purse, his purse now, filled with feminine necessities. "Bank, post office, grocery store. Take your time." Public outings had become routine. The tellers greeted Sophie warmly. The postal workers knew her by name. Stock boys carried heavy items to her car, doors held open by polite strangers. The world treated her as the woman she appeared to be. "Excuse me, miss?" A young man approached in the cereal aisle. "Could you reach that box on the top shelf? These heels aren't made for climbing." She, and the pronoun came naturally now, stretched to retrieve the cereal. The man thanked her profusely, admiring her dress in the process. She smiled, accepted the compliment, continued shopping with an odd flutter in her stomach. "Someone's glowing," her wife noticed at dinner. "Good day?" "Productive." Sophie served the roast chicken, smoothing her skirt before sitting. "A man flirted with me at the store." "Did he now?" Interest sparkled in her eyes. "And how did that make you feel?" The question lingered. How did it make her feel? Flattered? Confused? Validated in some unexpected way? "I don't know. Strange, I suppose." "Strange isn't bad." She reached across to touch Sophie's hand. "You're an attractive woman. Men will notice." Woman. The word settled into place, resistance finally crumbling. Months of dresses and heels, makeup and housework, serving and submitting, all leading to this moment of acceptance. "I am, aren't I?" Sophie's voice carried wonder. "A woman, I mean." "Yes, darling, you are." That night brought revelations. Sophie lay in her satin nightgown, processing the shift in identity. The male past felt distant, irrelevant to who she'd become. This was her life now, wife, homemaker, woman. The thought brought unexpected peace. Morning routines flowed smoother with acceptance. Choosing the red sundress felt natural, applying makeup second nature. She hummed while preparing breakfast, heels clicking a rhythm on the tile floor. "You seem happy," her wife observed, accepting the perfectly poached eggs. "I am." Sophie refilled the coffee cup, standing attentively beside the table. "Is there anything special you'd like for dinner?" "Surprise me. You always know what I'm craving." Pride warmed her chest. She did know, had learned every preference through months of careful attention. The house ran smoothly under her care. Meals appeared precisely when needed. Clothes stayed pressed and organized. "I might be late tonight." Her wife checked her phone. "Big meeting with the partners?" "I'll keep dinner warm." A kiss on the cheek, lipstick mark quickly wiped away. Then solitude again, the house waiting for Sophie's attention. She moved through tasks with practiced grace, the blue dress swirling as she worked. Afternoon brought unexpected visitors. Her wife's colleagues stopped by to drop off files, finding Sophie arranging flowers in the living room. "Beautiful arrangement." One woman admired the roses. "You have such an eye for design." "Thank you." Sophie adjusted a bloom, pleased by the compliment. "Would you like some tea?" They accepted, settling into girl talk while Sophie served. Career advice, relationship gossip, fashion tips, all directed at her as naturally as breathing. She participated eagerly, craving the female companionship. "Your wife is so lucky," they told her while leaving. "A beautiful woman who keeps a perfect home? She better appreciate you." "She does." Sophie waved goodbye, warmed by their acceptance. Dinner simmered when her wife finally returned, looking exhausted but pleased. "Good news." Sophie helped her out of the suit jacket, hanging it carefully. "Partnership offer. Junior level, but it's a start." "That's wonderful." Sophie embraced her, genuinely thrilled. "We should celebrate." "We should." Her wife's hands settled on Sophie's waist. "But first, I want my beautiful wife to serve me dinner in that stunning dress." The burgundy dress emerged from the closet, the one that hugged every curve perfectly. Sophie changed quickly, touching up her lipstick and adding the pearl necklace. Her wife waited at the table, eyes appreciative as Sophie entered. Perfect. The word carried weight beyond the dress. Sophie served with extra flair, bending gracefully to present each dish. The promotion meant more money, more security in their roles. Her wife as provider, Sophie as homemaker, a balance that now felt completely natural. "I've been thinking." Her wife spoke over dessert. "You should redecorate. Make the house truly yours." "Mine?" Sophie paused, fork halfway to her mouth. "Of course. You're the one here all day. It should reflect your tastes, your style." Permission to claim the space sparked excitement. Sophie's mind raced through possibilities. New curtains, different furniture arrangements, perhaps a complete color scheme change. "I'd love that." Enthusiasm colored her voice. "I've had so many ideas." "I'm sure you have." Her wife smiled indulgently. "We'll go shopping this weekend. Update your wardrobe too. A partner's wife needs appropriate clothes." The implications thrilled and terrified in equal measure. More public outings, higher profile events, no possibility of returning to her former life. But looking at her reflection in the darkened window, blonde hair cascading over burgundy fabric, lips red with carefully applied color, Sophie couldn't imagine wanting to return. "That sounds wonderful." She cleared the dessert plates, hips swaying naturally in the heels. "Shall I run your bath?" In a moment. Her wife caught her hand, pulling her close. "I want to look at my beautiful Sophie first." The kiss tasted of wine and promises. Sophie melted into it, feeling truly desired for the first time since the transformation began. Her wife's hands tangled in her long blonde hair, holding her in place. "Upstairs." The command brooked no refusal. Sophie led the way, each step measured in heels, knowing her wife watched the dress move with her body. The bedroom welcomed them, familiar yet charged with new energy. Undressed slowly. Her wife settled on the bed, still fully clothed, I want to appreciate every moment. The zipper descended with agonizing deliberation. Sophie stepped out of the dress, revealing the matching burgundy lingerie chosen specifically for this possibility. The heels stayed on. They always stayed on now, even in intimate moments. Beautiful. Her wife beckoned her closer. My perfect wife. What followed was tender, affirming, complete. Sophie gave herself fully to the role, to the relationship, to the woman she'd become. No reservations, no looking back. When they lay entwined afterward, Sophie's head on her wife's shoulder, the future stretched before them, clear and certain. I love you. The words emerged without thought, completely honest. I love you too, Sophie, more than you know. Sleep came peacefully, Sophie secure in her satin nightgown and her wife's arms. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, shopping for a partner's wife wardrobe, planning redecoration projects, maintaining the higher standards their new status required. But tonight, she was simply Sophie, beloved wife and homemaker, exactly where she belonged. The alarm woke them to sunlight streaming through gauze curtains. Her wife showered while Sophie prepared breakfast, movements automatic after months of practice. The coral dress she'd chosen complemented her morning glow, professional enough for shopping, yet comfortable for housework. No housework today. Her wife appeared in the kitchen. We're going shopping the moment the stores open. But the laundry, can wait. Today is about you. The department store's luxury section intimidated at first. Sales associates flocked to assist, recognizing her wife's expensive suit and confident demeanor. We need a complete wardrobe update, her wife announced. Cocktail dresses, formal gowns, smart casual, price is no object. What followed was a marathon of fabric and color. Sophie tried on dozens of dresses, each more beautiful than the last. Her wife directed choices with decisive taste, nothing too young or trendy, everything sophisticated and appropriate for a successful lawyer's spouse. The blue silk for the holiday party, she decided, watching Sophie turn before the mirror. And definitely the black velvet for the firm dinner. They're all so expensive, Sophie worried, calculating the mounting total. I can afford it now. Besides, you'll need them. The final tally made Sophie gasp, but her wife simply handed over the credit card. Bags filled the car's trunk, their bedroom soon overflowing with new possibilities. Fashion show, her wife commanded that evening. I want to see everything again. Sophie complied, modeling each purchase while her wife sipped wine and offered commentary. The clothes transformed her further, each outfit creating a slightly different version of the woman she'd become. You'll need jewelry to match. Mental notes accumulated. And perhaps we should consider other changes. Other changes? Your figure's lovely, but some enhancement wouldn't hurt. Nothing dramatic, just enough to fill out these dresses properly. The suggestion should have sparked protest. Instead, Sophie found herself considering the possibility. Her padded bras worked well enough, but genuine curves would eliminate that daily deception. Would that make you happy? The question emerged softly. It's not about me. Would it make you happy? Sophie studied her reflection, imagining the silhouette with natural fullness. The image felt right, completing the transformation in ways padding never could. Yes, I think it would. Then we'll schedule consultations, only the best doctors, of course. Weeks passed in preparation. The house transformed under Sophie's direction. Softer colors, elegant furnishings, fresh flowers in every room. Her wardrobe expanded further with each shopping trip, the mail past now completely erased. The consultation arrived on a Tuesday. Sophie wore her navy dress with white piping, professional yet feminine. The doctor explained options while she listened, her wife's hand reassuring in hers. Nothing too large, Sophie decided. Just enough to look natural, proportional. A wise choice. The doctor made notes. We can schedule for next month if you're certain. She's certain. Her wife squeezed her hand. Aren't you, darling? Yes. No hesitation colored the response. Completely certain. The surgery dates circled on their calendar became a countdown to completion. Sophie prepared meticulously, freezing meals for recovery, arranging the house for limited mobility, purchasing the special garments she'd need afterward. Nervous? Her wife asked the night before. Excited. Sophie smoothed the pink nightgown over her still flat chest. It feels like the final step. Not final. There's no end point to becoming yourself. The words resonated as Sophie drifted to sleep. Becoming herself, not becoming someone else, not playing a role. This was who she'd always been, waiting for circumstances to reveal the truth. Recovery passed in a haze of discomfort and anticipation. Her wife took time off work, tending to Sophie with unexpected tenderness. Soup delivered on trays, medications tracked carefully, gentle assistance with basic needs. Let me see. She helped remove the bandages weeks later, both of them holding their breath. The swelling had reduced, revealing natural-looking curves that filled out Sophie's frame perfectly, not too large, just as requested, proportional and feminine. Beautiful. Her wife traced gentle fingers over the healing skin. Absolutely perfect. Sophie cried then, overwhelmed by the completion. The mirror showed a woman, fully realized, no padding or pretense required. Her blonde hair framed a face that had softened with hormones prescribed during recovery. The body matched the identity she'd embraced completely. Thank you, she whispered through tears, for seeing who I could be. I only gave you permission. You did the becoming. Their first public outing post-surgery was the firm's holiday party. Sophie wore the blue silk dress selected months earlier, now filling it naturally. Her wife in a tailored tuxedo, they entered as the power couple they'd become. Darling, you look stunning! Partners' wives embraced Sophie, admiring her dress and jewelry. She circulated confidently, discussing charity work and social events as if she'd always belonged in this world. Your wife's transformation has been remarkable, the senior partner commented to her wife privately. Sophie's become quite the asset. She has, hasn't she? Pride colored her wife's voice as she watched Sophie charm a difficult client. Best thing that ever happened to us. The evening progressed in a blur of conversations and compliments. Sophie played hostess when needed, supportive spouse when required, always perfectly attuned to her wife's needs. They moved together seamlessly, a unit strengthened by their journey. Dance with me, her wife requested as the band began playing. Sophie accepted the outstretched hand, following her lead onto the floor. They swayed together, her heels bringing their heights closer to equal. Other couples joined them, but Sophie only saw her wife's face, the love shining there. No regrets? The question came softly. None. This is who I was meant to be. My beautiful Sophie. A kiss, public and claiming. My perfect wife. The music continued as they danced, Sophie's silk dress flowing with each movement. Around them, the firm's elite accepted them without question. She'd found her place, not just as a homemaker, but as a partner in their life together. Later, driving home through quiet streets, Sophie reflected on the journey. From that first pink sundress to tonight's elegant silk, each step had led here. The job loss that seemed catastrophic had become liberation, revealing truths that success had hidden. Penny for your thoughts? Her wife navigated familiar turns. Just grateful for everything. Speaking of grateful, her wife smiled mysteriously. I have a surprise when we get home. The house glowed warmly as they pulled in. Inside, an envelope waited on the hall table, Sophie's name written across it in her wife's handwriting. Open it. Inside, legal documents bore official seals and signatures. Petition for name change already approved. Driver's license amendment. Updated social security card. All confirming what Sophie already knew. She was legally, officially, completely herself. When did you... I started the process months ago. Wanted to wait for the right moment. Sophie clutched the papers, concrete proof of her transformation. No more explaining, no more confusion. Just Sophie, recognized by law as the woman she'd become. There's more. Her wife produced a small velvet box. I thought it was time for an upgrade. The ring sparkled with diamonds surrounding a central sapphire. Not an engagement ring, something more significant. An eternity band, symbolizing their continuous journey together. Will you marry me again? Her wife knelt beside their kitchen table. As Sophie this time? Yes. No hesitation, no doubt. Yes, absolutely yes. The ring slipped onto her finger, replacing the simple band from their first wedding. This one caught light differently, throwing rainbow patterns that matched Sophie's joy. Spring wedding! Her wife rose, pulling Sophie close. Small ceremony. You in white lace, me in cream silk. Our real wedding. Sophie nodded against her shoulder, overwhelmed by the fullness of her new life. From unemployed husband to cherished wife, from confusion to clarity, the transformation was complete, yet somehow still beginning. They made love that night with renewed passion, Sophie's enhanced body responding in ways that felt perfectly natural. Her wife worshipped every curve, celebrated every feminine detail. When they lay spent in tangled sheets, the future stretched before them bright with possibility. I love you, Sophie. The words carried weight, acknowledging everything she'd become. I love you too, more than words can say.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my other socials if you want more content, early access, behind the scenes, and more. All links down below.